We are here today with the curators and the reviewers of the
Yes.
Reimagining Water Urbanism in Varanasi project of Columbia University Design School and in association with IIT Kharagpur. So we have Joy from IIT Kharagpur. What is your reaction to today's presentation?
I think it's fantastic because it's like 2 years of coming together, getting together, knowing each other. It's like you need a medium through which you understand. And what can be a better medium than Varanasi? So through Varanasi, we understood each other. We understood the people and the communities of Varanasi. And the most important thing is that we begin to understand there's nothing which comes down from the top. Things evolve from the ground. We need to understand the flows. We need to understand the histories as flows. We need to understand the changes of the communities. Varanasi is just a medium through which you touch the whole of India. Because we have a larger project in the background, as I told you, which is the Science and Heritage Initiative, which has this language, music, creative economy, and the whole of the philosophy of life after death and things like that. So you need one lens through which you can touch all of it. So Indian music, Varanasi. Indian language, Varanasi. Yeah.
So I was also told that we are setting up a museum of musical instruments in Varanasi.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we had Rajan Sajan Mishra here last week. And he was saying that Mirza Ghalib was going from Delhi to Calcutta to pick up his pay. And he was transiting through Varanasi and he stayed there for 6 months. There must be something in the city. How did your students find Varanasi? Because there are so many foreigners from different nationalities. What is your reaction?
So our students come from all over the world, as you saw. It's really, really a diverse group. But I think the strength they brought to our projects was seeing issues in Varanasi from fresh eyes.
Absolutely.
Right? So they were not afraid to question the rituals of life and death or caste or anything. And they saw everything, is possible. So I think that optimism and that empathy, as you like to say, was really, I think, a very important thing. And then they were really aided by working with IIT students, so they had local knowledge, but they also had this questioning, attitude. So I think together it worked really well. So you saw the results today.
Kate, what do you have to add? How was this idea of doing it in the consulate? Did you find it okay or comfortable?
It made it an incredible celebration, I think, which is what it should be, right?
And the students will never forget that.
They'll never forget it. I think just to build on that rather than see Varanasi as a series of problems to be solved or highways to be widened or that I feel like our students were looking more at systems that kind of connect things, whether it's forest ecosystems or water systems that range from sort of mountain to river and kund and ghat and all this sort of different typologies of water and social life that comprise this amazing sort of urban pattern. And I think that they were able to sort of think about these systems in a new way and combine physical design ideas together with forms of social life like new ritual or transactions or gathering spaces and these kinds of ways that kind of, I think, question or shine a light on how urban planning is currently practiced in India. So hopefully that's useful.
Dinesh, you said that India is a land of precipitation rather than land of rivers. So how do you relate what you saw today to this concept? I think it's an amazing idea because that actually embodies our life in India, our seasons, our festivals, our cropping. So how did these presentations relate to what you have been thinking?
This is Dilip's passion.
Yeah, I'm quite astounded by it.
It was interesting. I mean, you could say it's my passion, but I think that the students actually discovered this. I mean, and I think I would say they discovered a different Varanasi. I mean, and I feel that the Varanasi that they discovered is more real, I think, than the Varanasi that is projected very often, to the tourist and to the thing. But I don't say that actually in the sense that they discovered, problematic situation. I think that they discovered a world actually of India that operates through practices that are much more related to precipitation. Things that we see as chaos, things that we see as informal, things that we see that we tend to see as other, on the ground of precipitation suddenly makes sense. I mean, and the students seem to have grasped that. you know, and I think this empathetic, with this empathetic view, I think they have seen that that you know that what we would normally, what anyone else sees as chaos, actually has an underlying structure of rain, and I really enjoyed the fact actually that many of them seem to have pushed and actually found a new order and so much. And it's very inspiring. I mean, I'm very inspired by, I mean, you know, it really doesn't matter where students come from. Obviously, just because I'm from India doesn't mean that I know India any better.
Absolutely.
These students have come from various parts of the world, and I think that they know India better than most people in India do, you know. So I think that's a real positive to take away, I would think.
Mr. Johri, you come from Ahmedabad, UNESCO Heritage City,
Yes.
with a rather successful regeneration project of the Sabarmati. How do you bring that into what you saw today? How do you relate? Can we repeat that example here, or they're entirely different?
I think
Sabarmati is a bad example.
templates won't work in every region. What I'm glad about is that we are not talking of land urbanism. We are talking of aqua urbanism. We are talking about waterways. Traditionally, what Varanasi has been looked at has always been the river and the built form. Here, what we've seen is slightly different. Students have come through from the rivers. Students have spoken of how the rivers can add more value. And the best part is that they have not looked at it from a set westernized template. They've gone down to the roots. They've spoken to the people. They've been talking about transactions. They've been talking about rituals. Because Varanasi is not any other average city. Varanasi is over 3,000 years old. It's more like a phenomenon itself, and trying to decode even 10% of that is a great achievement.
Final word from you, Mr. Gupta?
Yes, thank you. First, thank you for hosting this. That's superb, that's excellent. I'm looking at it from a relational standpoint. I met Geeta about 18 months or so ago in Kolkata, and that's when we got IIT and our group got involved with Columbia. So I'm looking at this relationship between Columbia and IIT. You know, I look at it 2 + 2 = 11. We are 2 great colleges. I mean, no question. Columbia is a great school. IIT is a great school. And what I want to do is for us to continue this and make it more of a permanent fixture year after year. And we want to do that with other colleges. But I think Columbia, we made a great start. From last year, we've grown it. There's much more of a bond now between the students and the faculty, and we like to see it continue.
Nice.
Thank you.